Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about New York City and what is going on over here in New York City with the with migrants coming in and the financial burden that it is putting on the city. So the other day the mayor gave a speech and I thought it was very interesting. So we're going to go ahead and take a listen to that speech, and I will be pausing the video as we go along and give you guys my opinion as it goes. All right, so let's get into it.
Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
And it's not stopping, y'all. 10,000 a month. So what are we? We're in September, and that is gonna keep going all year. Okay, so throughout the rest of this year and next year. All right, so let's keep going.
One time we were just getting Venezuela. Now we're getting Ecuador. Now we're getting Russian speaking coming through Mexico. Now we're getting Western Africa. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City. And everyone is saying it's New York City's problem.
Okay, so now okay, I am not blaming these people for coming here. These people are coming from desperate situations, from countries. Some of it is based on our foreign policy and what we've done to to other countries. Also, these other countries as well too. There's corruption. There's a lot of issues going on over there as well. So I'm not blaming those people. They're just coming here for a better life, trying to provide for their family and making that treacherous journey through the border to come to Texas, Arizona, wherever it is, and also and then be shipped to New York and so on and so forth. So I'm not blaming them, okay? But however, they are here, all right? And we have to address that. And that is going to continue to be a problem. At any moment, at any point, the mayor can just say, listen, New York City is no longer a sanctuary city. We can't take on these migrants. They're putting a huge financial burden, financial strain on New York. And now we're going to pause it or stop it or anything on those sorts, okay? But he's not going to do that, all right? Just based on this speech alone, his own party, people from his own party are already criticizing him, saying that he is being too dramatic, and that Republicans are going to love this and so on and so forth, and they're making this a political issue. But this is not. This is a financial problem. This is a financial issue, all right, and a people issue. All right, so let's keep going.
Every community in this city is going to be impacted. We have a $12 billion deficit that we're going to have to cut. Every service in this city is going to be impacted. All of us. And so I say to you, as I turn it over to you, this is some of the most educated, some of the most knowledgeable, probably more of my commissioners and deputy commissioners and chiefs live in this community. So as you ask me a question about migrants, tell me what role you played. How many of you organized to stop what they're doing to us?
Now, when he say what they're doing to us, who's they? I guess he's talking about Texas and Arizona, what they're doing to us, New York City, meaning when they're busing people here. But those border towns and these communities are getting a huge impact as well. Everyone's being impacted by this. The whole country's being impacted by this. So Texas and Arizona said, listen, we're not going to be the only one taking the brunt of this. Everyone's going to feel it. Everyone's going to feel this. So yeah, they are sharing the load basically.
How many of you were part of the movement to say, we're seeing what this mayor is trying to do and they're destroying New York City? It's going to come to your neighborhoods. All of us are going to be impacted by this. I said it last year when we had 15,000. I'm telling you now, with 110,000, the city we knew we're about to lose.
The city we knew we're about to lose. Those are prophetic words coming from the mayor's mouth. So basically the dynamic of the city, the way this city is, it will change. Is changing. It has changed. Quality of life in the city is about to go down. Now, the mayor talks about the $12 billion per year that they're about to spend, that is going to cost the city. So I want to take a look at, I'm going to show you guys what the comptroller or the comptroller's office and their projected budget for the city for the fiscal year 2023. We're going to see how far off that they are. And their numbers are super, super conservative. All right, so let's take a look. Now, this is from the comptroller's office. As you can see here, this is from March of 2023. So this is what they were projecting for the fiscal year of 2023, what the city spending and so on and so forth was going to look like. All right. So, and their figures are super conservative. Now look at the date right here. This says March of 2023. So we're gonna come all the way down here. So this is what the mayor is talking about. So this is just the comptroller's office. Now remember, these numbers are not the updated numbers. So this is what they thought in January 2023. So fiscal year, the city's fiscal year is July to July. So we're already in fiscal year 2024. All right, so but check this out. Now this paragraph here talks about how the city is resilient, the economy, and so on and so forth. And right here, right down below, it says, despite the revised revenue projection, the revised revenue meaning the city, supposedly going to be bringing in more money than they thought they would. It says, despite the revised revenue projection, budget gaps are estimated at $1.3 billion in fiscal year 2023, right? That's very conservative. Now, check this out. Watch this. Watch what happens. So it's 1.3 in 2020, fiscal year 2023. That's done. 1.5 in fiscal year 2024. But even from their own very conservative numbers, look what happens. It says the gaps swell to $7.7 billion in fiscal year 2025, $10.2 billion in fiscal year 2026, and basically $12 billion in fiscal year 2027. Now, here's what's important here. It says these gaps do not include the risks derived from the cost of services provided to asylum seekers. All right, so this budget gap here does not include the risk derived from the cost of asylum seekers. Now, they're saying this was in March, $823 million in fiscal year 2023, $2.1 or $2.1 billion in fiscal year 2024, and potentially $2.8 billion each year thereafter. All right, it says the gaps also do not incorporate the fiscal impact of the governor's executive budget or the governor's proposal regarding charter schools and so on and so forth. So basically, the city is begging the the governor and also the federal government to step in. Now, this is not the updated number. Now, it is saying that the city will provide $823 million in fiscal year 2023. This was back in March of early March this year. Let's look at the updated version of it, one that came out on basically August 9th, this weekend. Let's take a look at that one. Now, these are the most revised. These are the latest numbers. All right, this is the most current ones. All right, now it says this is from the mayor's office of the mayor. All right, it says, as the city nears arrival of 100,000 asylum seekers since last spring, Mayor Adams lays out updated costs if state and federal governments do not take swift action. This is August 9th, 2023. All right, I've highlighted this. It says the city has already spent $1.45 billion in fiscal year 2023 to provide shelter, food, and services to tens of thousands of asylum seekers. So remember that just that previous slide I showed you guys from the comptroller's office, how conservative their numbers were, that they said that they expected the city to spend $800 plus million. Well, that number is actually basically 1.5 billion. All right, almost double than what they're projected. And as we enter fiscal year 2024, that number is only going to get worse because they're going to keep sending more migrants as the border remain an issue and crisis. More and more people are going to keep coming. We're about to head into election year. So, Arizona and Texas are going to send even more migrants to New York City. All right. So that number is going to swell even higher. Okay. And this is not even counting the people that we already have here that's already homeless, they're having issues of buying a house. Rent is the highest it's been. In Manhattan, I'm going to do a separate video on that. I believe they said the average rent in the city of Manhattan is about $5,600. It's insane. It's crazy. All right, which might cause more homelessness. Like people that are here, rent is ridiculous. People might end up in shelters and so on and so forth, competing. People that are here, New Yorkers, are going to basically have to compete for housing and shelter from people who are here seeking asylum or illegally. All right, so let's continue reading this. It says, as the city nears total of 100,000 asylum seekers, all right, arriving since spring of 2022 without further support, new cost estimate based on current trends show that the city has a potential to spend upwards of $12 billion over 3 fiscal years, fiscal year 23, 24, and 25, without policy changes. All right, so this is a problem. This is going to cost the city a major issues. Maybe the federal government will step in and help out. Maybe the governor, Governor Hochul, will come in and will step in and also help out and try to bail out the city. But they have to find a solution to this. Yes, everyone wants the migrants, not in my neighborhood. You guys take them. You guys take them upstate. Say, we're not taking any of that. Don't even think about it. We'll shut down hotels. They'll do any steps by any means necessary so the migrants don't end up upstate New York. So I think it's very interesting. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the mayor should call for a state of emergency, shut the borders down, and say basically New York City, we cannot take any more migrants. We're no longer a sanctuary city. Or should they continue to remain a sanctuary city and continue to take on migrants and anybody basically who wants to come here, and that the city's charter says that they have to provide them housing, but it doesn't say anything about housing for migrants or asylum seekers. But I thought it was for people who are here, New Yorkers who live here. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Please leave a like, leave a thumbs up in the comment section below. And I will see you soon.